Again, at this time, if you have a question for Coach Satterfield, please press star one on your telephone's keypad at this time. Appalachian State returned this week after a 20-13 loss in overtime at Tennessee last Thursday. This week, the Mountaineers host Old Dominion. That game will take place in Boone, North Carolina, and will kick off at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 2:30 Central on the American Sports Network and the Watch ESPN app. Coach Satterfield, please give us your thoughts on the upcoming game before we get to questions.
Yeah, first of all, I thought last week, our guys went out and played extremely hard. Unfortunately, we didn't make enough plays there at the end to win the game, but nevertheless, I love the effort that our guys put in. And I think, for us, we played on Thursday night, and it's been a little bit longer. We got 2 more extra days, I think, to prepare and get ready for Old Dominion. We're excited about the opportunity this weekend to host Old Dominion at our place, and a team that we know is coming in here 1-0, got a big win yesterday, and so we're obviously looking forward to a great game and a great turnout here at our stadium.
Thank you very much, Coach. We will go to our first questions from Brett Stretlow from the Winston-Salem Journal.
Hey, Scott. I had 2 quick ones. First off, how are you guys health-wise coming out of that Tennessee game?
Oh, we're in great shape. As good as you can expect coming out of that, playing an SEC opponent. The only thing we had a few cramps there in the second half, but other than that, we're healthy.
Defensively, it looked like some guys, Akeem Davis, Jordan Fair, may have made their App State debuts. I guess Akeem's a redshirt freshman. But did those guys play defense or just special teams, or what did you think they contributed for your team?
Yeah, they mainly played on special teams. I think Clifton Duck was probably the main one freshman that played on defense, and a lot of those guys played well. They ended up playing. And then, Duck especially, I think he had maybe 6 or 7 tackles and had several pass breakups. And then, he gave up the one long ball. But other than that, played an outstanding game.
Thanks, Scott.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Brett. Our next questions will come from Dave Fairbank with the American Sports Network.
Hey, good morning, Coach. I saw where you made a couple of remarks about Myquan Stout after the game. Give me an idea just what qualities he has that's allowed him to play as well as he has through camp and even through the first game.
Yeah, he had an outstanding off season. We thought he had a great spring this past year, and then coming into camp, we had a hard time blocking him. Whenever we did our scrimmage mode practices in August, and then he showed out in Tennessee. I mean, he did it. He's exceptionally quick. He has pretty good size. I mean, he's close to 280, right around there, and he has great strength. And what we want at our nose is guys that can play fast, that have strength, that has to demand a double team, and he's all of that. A couple of times he had Dobbs in the backfield and just didn't wrap him up, but he could potentially had a huge game if he had a couple more sacks there. But nevertheless, he enabled our defense, the rest of our guys, and our linebackers to be able to float and make plays.
Hey, what do you ask your nose tackle to do in your particular 3-4 defense?
Yeah, well, we're a slant and angle up front, and so whenever he does that, he's got to control his gap. So if he's getting his gap, and we want to make it hard for guys to be able to block him a single block. So we don't want the center just to be able to block him. If we can demand that double team out of the guard and center, that's going to free up those backers to run, and that's why you see Boggs and Law and those guys behind him being able to make a lot of plays.
If I could sneak one more in, the fact that Old Dominion falls in between 2 Power 5 conference teams, and they're a team that you handled pretty well last year. Any concerns about either a hangover from last week or overlooking them for next week?
I don't think so. I think this team does a great job of staying in the moment. We talk about it all the time, and our guys are anxious to get back on the field. We got a bad taste in our mouth, not finishing the deal against Tennessee. We're excited to get back on the field and honestly prove that we have a really good football team. They came back yesterday and had a great practice, and we got a mindset of we can't wait to get on the field. And we know we're going to get their best shot from Old Dominion because of a little bit of last year. They have so many players back this year, but our guys will be ready to play, and we can't wait to get back on the field.
Thanks, sir.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Dave, and thank you, Scott. Appreciate your time, and best of luck against Old Dominion this week.
Okay, thank you. See you now.
Thank you very much. As a reminder, again, we'll be back here shortly with head coach Everett Withers of Texas State University. Again, a few notes on Appalachian State. App State faces Old Dominion this Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time and 2:30 p.m. Central Time. That game will be televised on American Sports Network.